Geoff Gollop. Geoff.
Thank you, Mark. My first part of my comments simply reiterates statements that I've made before, but I wish to put them on record today. The general point I wish to make is that mergers are being proposed, as it would seem, for the sake of mergers. I give the specific example of Henleys and Elmley junior schools, which are both amongst the top performing junior schools in Bristol, well ahead of both Bristol and the national averages at Key Stage 2. Is our idea to merge junior and infant schools at both locations? Sorry, that should read, it is our idea. There is no evidence to suggest, I would put to you, that this would improve results, and many indicators from those involved in both schools believe it may well be to the detriment of their results. I give you these specific examples, but there are others where mergers may be totally inappropriate and will not result in improved standards. The second issue is a specific one relating to Westbury Church of England Primary School, which raises doubts about the whole basis of the capital project proposed. The executive member has been briefed on these issues, and Peter has kindly agreed to visit the school, for which I and the governors are most grateful. But I feel I should put on record my concerns. The current school was designed for 315 pupils, and it currently has within those facilities 367 pupils, increasing to 420 over the next 6 years. The school is scheduled to be refurbished in phase 1, and I most certainly do not want to jeopardise that refurbishment. But I am told that the proposed spend of £2.7 million will result in the provision of 7 temporary classrooms. It is not acceptable for schools today to still be using temporary classrooms, but even less acceptable that we are proposing to provide them as part of the general capital programme. Even with the provision of new classrooms, the staff room, the hall and the ICT suite will still be undersized, as they are not being modified in the refurbishment and not being expanded to cope with increased numbers. If this same level of budgeting and planning is being carried out in terms of capital programmes for other schools, then a very unsatisfactory situation will arise. This school needs an urgent rebuild and refurbishment, and if that were to be delayed, then its ability to cope with the number of children on its books must be seriously questioned. Thank you. Shall I go on to the next statement as well, which I make on behalf of the Conservative group? I will just read the last 3 paragraphs. As a group, we are particularly disappointed with the CYPS post-consultation recommendations, as they seem to have taken little or no account of the responses to some of the more contentious options, including the proposed closures of St George Primary, St Pius X Primary and Stockwood Green School. Perhaps this is not surprising, given the casual way in which petitions bearing thousands of names opposing closure, plus councillors' representations, were discarded from the audit of responses. The Conservative group remains completely unconvinced by the dogmatic desire to amalgamate and federate schools regardless of current performance, and questions the one-size-fits-all assumption that mega schools will deliver a superior education to those that operate on a more human scale. Even at this late stage, we urge Cabinet to re-examine urgently the flawed rationale which appears to lie behind the primary review proposals, and specifically reverse the recommendations proposing the closure of St George's, St Pius and Stockwood Green. Unless Cabinet can give these assurances or agree to refer the matter to full Council with a firm commitment to honour the view of members, the Conservative group hereby gives notice of its intention to call in this muddled strategy. Thank you.